The G20 is a group of major developed and emerging economies which account for 85% of global GDP and 80% of global trade and 2/3 of global population, which occupies approximately half of the world land area. This means the decisions made by G20 would have a tremendous impact on global economy. The G20 was established as a response to global financial crisis of 2007 and 2008. So naturally, the main objective of establishing the G20 was to overcome and to prevent international financial crisis. So originally, the main objective of establishing the G20 was to overcome and prevent a global financial crisis. As a result, the G20 originally has focused on the macroeconomic policies such as the fiscal and monetary the policy and reforms of international financial organizations. Over the years, however, the agenda of G20 has expanded and broadened. And in recent years, it has dealt with a wider range of issues more relevant to our daily lives, such as the trade and the climate change and labor and development, and of course, like the global health crisis, such as the coronavirus pandemic. Nowadays, G20 introduces guidelines to the world in all the issues with economic implications. The G20 summit, which is the premier forum for international economic cooperation, has been held 13 times so far since its inception in Washington, D.C., 2008, to overcome then financial crisis. In November 2010, Korea had a privilege to host the 5th G20 summit in Seoul. I think Saudi Arabia showed a wonderful example in managing the G20 in this unprecedented situation. When everybody was panicked and confused by this unknown coronavirus that spreads at a frightening speed, Saudi Arabia did not hesitate a moment to convene G20 Extraordinary Leaders Summit. When everyone was confused and panicked by this unknown virus that spreads at a frightening speed, Saudi Arabia did not hesitate a moment to take swift measures to convert all the G20 related meetings into virtual and convened G20 the Leaders Virtual Summit as early as March 26. And since then, Saudi Arabia has hosted around 100 G20 related meetings, such as ministerial and working level meetings, in addition to the meetings of 8 engagement groups. And they are all virtual, with no single mistake at all respect. And it proved its ability to lead all the participants reach a consensus, and its capacity to utilize let me do it again. It proved its ability to lead all the participants to reach consensus, and its capacity to utilize advanced IT systems that enabled this unprecedented virtual meeting not only successful but also flawless. I'm also getting a wonderful feedback from Seoul that Saudi G20 authorities, represented by G20 Secretariat and the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Minister of Finance, is so efficient and well organized and responsive and reliable that they are great partners to work with. I'm glad to hear these kind of comments and and feedbacks as an ambassador here to the kingdom. Saudi Arabia as a G20 presidency will be long remembered, not only because this is an exceptional year due to coronavirus, but because it has a wonderful job in terms of contents and in terms of the logistics. The bilateral relations between the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and Korea, which celebrate the 58th anniversary of their diplomatic ties, is robust as ever. Since the establishment of the diplomatic ties between the two countries, they have developed cooperation and friendship in all aspects for more than half a century. And Korea has played a key role in the development of infrastructure in the kingdom, whereas Saudi Arabia has been a stable energy supplier for the Korean economic development. Korea heavily relies on the energy import from foreign countries, and about 30% of oil that we import comes from Saudi Arabia. On the trade front, the bilateral trade between the kingdom and Korea marks between $25 and $30 billion annually in recent years. Korea is the kingdom's fifth largest trading partner. Since the inception of Saudi Vision 2030, Korea has been one of the strategic partners for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. In October 2017, Korea and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia launched Saudi-Korea Vision Committee, which is institutionalized bilateral cooperative platform in support of Saudi Vision 2030. By working together and leveraging each other's strengths, I believe that we can enter a new chapter of bilateral relations. Now I'd say that Korea is co-pilot of Saudi Arabia in its cockpit, navigating its reform process. The Saudi-Korea Vision Committee is not the only institutionalized bilateral cooperative platform. We have a joint committee. And this joint committee was established in 1975, and in December last year, we had a 19th joint committee meeting. And through this meeting, the two countries reviewed and coordinated in all aspects of bilateral cooperation. Moreover, on various international agendas, such as COVID-19 pandemic and other issues like international security, terrorism, climate change, Saudi Arabia and Korea share many common values and take a very similar and common stance in the United Nations and other international multilateral organizations. The frequent high-level visits to each other reflect our close relations as well. And so far, 4 Korean presidents visited the kingdom, and in terms of ministerial level visit, it is uncountable. And most importantly, His Royal Highness Crown Prince paid a historic visit to Korea June last year. I said it is historic because this kind of visit was done since then Crown Prince King Abdullah visited Korea in 1998. And due to the visit by His Royal Highness Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, our bilateral relations got into a new height. On top of these political and economic relations, cultural exchanges between our two countries have expanded a lot in recent years to promote goodwill and mutual understanding. And various cultural events have been already held in both countries.